live. Hello, everybody. How's it going? It is I, Nines Vox, back once again. Ore Sanzo. I have arrived. So, hi. Hello. Welcome back to, what is this? Part 6? Part 7? Of the, Natlan story quests in Genshin Impact. Yeah, we're back. Hang on a moment. I just now realized that Arlecchino's health is the lowest out of any of my party members. Previously, when we were playing, let's see, we entered the Night Kingdom after a long, complex amount of setup to finally rescue Kachina, and we did, and along the way, Mualani got an insane power boost, seemingly. Inherited the memories of former bearers of her ancient name, including a giant named Tupac. So, all that we learned from that is the Abyss has entered the Night Kingdom and is sort of screwing around. They're screwing around there. And there has been a plan set in motion for 500 years to fight it. Or some 500 years. Anyway, for a very, very long time, the original Pyro Archon has had a plan to fight back against the Abyss and has been setting it up for centuries. And now it's all going to come to fruition. So, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what happens. Because at the end of last stream, we were pretty much trapped in the Night Kingdom. And then Mavuika basically punched a hole in between dimensions. With nothing but sheer fighting spirit. And supposedly there was a cost of doing that, like an equivalent exchange sort of thing. So, we're now on our way to go find out what exactly happened. So, as you can see, this is not where I ended last stream. I had to go turn in my daily commissions. So, we're just going to go and finish up this bit of quest. And who knows, maybe we'll fully catch up on the 5-point-something or other story quests right now. Because I have no idea how far we are from the end of this update. Before we have to wait for the next major content update. Or if, oh yeah, I also sort of forgot that Kinich's banner starts now. I forgot that this guy was going to be on banner, so, we'll be rolling for Kinich a few times, I guess. But yeah, I legitimately forgot that his banner was coming up. Yeah. So unfortunately, we did not get Mualani's Catalyst, but that's how it goes. Can't get all the weapons. I don't know. Have I actually gotten anybody's signature weapon? Have I gotten anyone's signature weapon? I don't think so, actually. Hang on. No signature. No signature. Nope. That is a 5-star weapon, but it's not a signature weapon. No. Certainly not. No. Okay, but that's craftable, so it doesn't count. Not really. No. No. What other 5 stars do I have? No. No. Yeah, I don't think I have anybody's signature weapon now that I think about it. I don't think I do. Yeah, that's interesting. I forgot that I haven't leveled Candace yet. I've been meaning to level Candace because she's kind of funny. Same with Kirara. And Kaveh. Because Kaveh as a main DPS kind of went crazy in the trial where you get to like try him out. Ooh. That reminds me. The Kinich's test run. We've got to do that before we start. We've got to do this. Got to do the thing, the funny thing, so that we can actually see how this guy plays and see if I'm actually going to bother rolling. Because I don't use that many Claymore wielders. Yes, I did intentionally decide to get Dia. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Sorry, I didn't read the thing. Could you repeat that one more time? I forgot that Elemental Sight was a thing, to be perfectly honest. When there are no enemies present, Kinich's elemental skill fires a grappling hook to perform swings and can expand Phlogiston in midair to swing again. When there are enemies nearby, he will use the hook to link to them and fire loop shots, accumulating Night Soul points when he reaches the limit, casting the elemental skill to Fire a cannon. Elemental Burst will summon a How. Periodically dealing AoE Dendro. Right, cool, yeah. So, he is Spider-Man, from everything that I can understand. Hang on a minute. I've got to test to see what this can do. That was not what I expected to do. Does it work when I'm in midair? Oh, that's cool. Up. There's a little bit of game lag. What's his... Oh, that's a new charge attack. That's a new charge. The Claymore throw. That's new. I don't think I've seen them do that. Also, this is more of an axe than a Claymore now that I think about it. And the pixel pattern on it, that is badass. I gotta say, they've gotten a lot more creative with their weapon designs lately. I really like that. They've gotten more creative and stylish with their weapon designs to where you can really tell that someone's signature weapon belongs to them. I really like that. That's a really cool touch. Let's throw that thing one more time.
Are you running away?
Huh. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. So I get two things, and of course they had the pixelated crash sound effect once I hit the ground.
You really are a one-trick pony, you know.
And instead of having a voice line of his own, he just has a How making fun of him. That's funny. Wait. Do I get to see... I don't get to read his dialogue, no. Okay. Abby is fair too. That's who voices a How. That's cool. He slings a How at them. That's funny. Okay, so 4-hit combo. That's all the practice I'm really going to get in there. Let's do this. Yeah, let's just sprint through the thingamabob. Man. Okay. Let's collect some more pyro particles. Let's do the thing. Let's do what we're supposed to do here. Just completely whiffed most of those particles. Let's see. So.
Lockdown.
And then that does that. Oh, I see. That's interesting. That's really cool. That's kind of strange for gameplay, but I like that. So, despite being a Claymore user, he doesn't use his Claymore in combat if you're using his skill. That's kind of funny, actually. You know what? I can respect that. I can respect that. He does not use his actual signature weapon. Where are we supposed to go? Where are we? Hang on a minute. What? Oh, right, because he has unique grapple points. I get it now. He has unique grapple points because he's part of the Scions of the Canopy. Will you please let me get the thing? There we go. Okay, cool. Right. So he can use the grapple points without having to use his skill. No. Kinich, please work with me here, dude. I need to get the thing. I need to go get the thing. Okay. There we go. And I think I figured out earlier that we can aim with these, too. When I was just messing around with it down there, I found out that we can aim this thing. Yeah, we can. There we go. Okay, this is fun. This is cool. I like this a lot. Go over here, and then up here, and then fight the thingamabob. Let's just use his combo to see what happens, because I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of damage, but we'll see. Will this thing please stand up faster? I want to get to fighting it. Okay, let's just not worry about any of that then. Woba, thank you. That is like burning, and then
Target acquired.
there we go. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool gameplay loop. This is fun. That is something.
Mind to command.
Sorry, that thing got really large for a moment there. I don't know what that was.
Don't get too close. Support fire.
Oh, because I have to grapple to it because it's in the air. I see. I see. That's clever. So they're making me use his actual mechanics. Sorry. What was that damage?
Find these souls.
What was that damage he just did? What was that damage he just did?
Out of the corner.
Took out like half of that guy's health. Well, okay. You know what? I think I know who I'm rolling for now. I think when it comes to who am I rolling for in this banner, as much as it would definitely help some of my old Hyperbloom setups to get the Shogun again so that I can get constellations, that was kind of fun. That was really fucking fun. Let's do the other trial stages so we can get some more primos, just so that we can actually, you know, roll. But for now, let's see. Yeah, we're going to be getting some more primos. I know how the Shogun plays, so this is going to be a lot faster. There won't be quite as much just trying out random things.
No escape.
Shogun relies on everyone casting their ultimates at one time to fill up this circle in the back here. So,
Ring cutter.
then, the more filled the circle is, the more damage her ability, the more damage her skill actually does. Like this.
Now you shall perish.
See what I mean? The more damage it does, the closer that circle is to being full.
Illusion shattered.
Yeah.
No, my sword.
It's a pretty simple gameplay loop compared to like
Rain
other
outlines your fate.
5 stars
Light it
now,
up.
which don't exactly have complex mechanics. It's just when I first got the Shogun, I didn't realize that that's how she played. So let's see. Yeah, so you see the 3 circles with the like Electro symbol, not the one at the top. That's the eye.
There is no escape.
That's that eye. But the other ones, you'll see them fill up.
Witness the power of goodwill.
There.
You're toast.
Now this continues, and
Teamwork
then
is dreamwork.
there. So once all 3 teammates have casted their ult,
Inazuma shines eternal.
Shogun casts hers, and everything dies. And the eye just deals some other damage. So yeah. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Other trial stages. Let's doing well. I've just started. You're right on time. I haven't actually done any story yet, so yeah. Welcome. I've just been testing out the characters because I haven't played since Kinich's banner started. So here we are. I just figured I'd test out the characters so that I know if I'm going to try to roll for someone, I can decide between Kinich and the Shogun, because I have the Shogun. I've had the Shogun for a while. Since she was on her first banner back in Inazuma. When Inazuma was the newest thing, I got the Shogun back then. How often do I stream? Whenever I get the chance. Inconsistently. Very inconsistently. Usually I try to go on like Monday, Wednesday, maybe sometimes on the weekend, so solidly twice a week, I think. I'm working on trying to get more consistent with it. Someday, one of these days, I'll actually put out a schedule on Twitch, on like Twitter or something, before I stream. Why did it just get darker for a second? What the heck? What the? Yeah. But yeah, one of these days I'll actually like announce my streams more than 10 minutes in advance. But that day is not today. When I get more consistent, I will be doing things. Which games do I stream? Usually I stream the same thing multiple times in a row. For example, I've been streaming Genshin pretty consistently for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours per stream, for about 6 episodes now, so for about 3 weeks. But in the past, I don't really alternate games, because in the past I would only stream once a week, so I just keep going with the same thing. But now as I'm getting more consistent, I'm currently trying to sort out whether or not, like, okay, do I just, like, hyper-focus on one game and just get through that? Or do I... Where am I trying to go? So I'm trying to figure out a better way to do it, a better, more interesting practice to do it, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. In the past, I've streamed like Armored Core consistently for months at a time. Like, you can go back and find just like on my channel from this time last year, just like an uninterrupted chunk of Armored Core 6 gameplay. Just an uninterrupted, like, series of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon gameplay, and other things like that. Just a bunch of Elden Ring, a bunch of Hollow Knight. I usually stream the same thing a lot, so that I can get through it consistently without, like, losing steam. Because when I start taking breaks to stream other things, that's when I start, like, getting less consistent with streaming the other thing. Like, when I was streaming Destiny 2 Lightfall, I took a break to stream Hollow Knight for a while, and then never went back to playing Lightfall. Same with Wuthering Waves, honestly. I should get back to Wuthering Waves, but it's been so long that that's just, like, I've kind of, I don't know, lost steam on that. I'll get back to it eventually. I got all the essentials for stream stuff like logo, banner, overlay, emotes, badges, reach for models, etc. I'll get to that when I get to that. I've got the model, as you can see. I've got banners. I've got profile images. I've got all that stuff made by me. I made all of that myself, and I'm satisfied with it for now. I'm getting better at graphic design. And when I get better at graphic design, all of my stuff will get better. But I'm not addressing anything like that until I actually have a need for it. I get that there's a be prepared aspect, but I'm not delusional enough to say, like, oh, I'm gonna get, like, special emotes for this, like, for people who sub before I actually have like people who sub. I am very amateur VTuber right now, so I'm not worrying about that till it becomes a pressing issue.
Huh. There's a lot less stuff here than before.
Oh, she used that as a sacrifice, didn't she? That's what the cost was. Right, okay, so someone did say, I can't remember if it was Iansan or Chaska that said, a demonstration of power like that always requires a sacrifice.
It's
So that
good
makes
to
a
see
lot
you
of
all here in one
sense.
piece.
Hi. Sorry you lost your museum. Would you like to check out some of my work? Not really. Honestly, I'm sorry to say that, but I'm going to do my own work when it comes to that. For the time being, I'm going to stick to using my own work. Just because I feel better about having made it myself. I'm trying to continue to grow as an artist and content creator. So I, for the time being, will be sticking to like manufacturing and making all of my stuff on my own. That's my policy on that stuff for now. So yeah. So no offense, I'm sure your work is great, but I am going to stick to making things myself for the foreseeable future. Right. It's good to see all of you here in one piece.
I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
That's fair.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
Despite the short stint in the Night Kingdom, Mualani and the others all have some degree of abyssal contamination. But thanks to Koichi's extensive experience treating abyssal contamination, the harmful effects will not be permanent. What harmful effects are there? Because all of them are, like, somehow ironic. Like, whatever they are, or whatever the abyssal effects are, they're always incredibly ironic and seemingly tailored for the person that got corrupted. Which I think is kind of funny. Because it's like, let's see, Atea, who fought the Abyss to defend her hometown and defend the hot springs, got injured in such a way that she couldn't go into the hot springs without damaging herself further. Or, who else was it that was a fisherman and went deep-sea fishing all the time and then fought, like, an abyss-corrupted fish? Like, giant abyss-corrupted fish? And then, in the process, got injured and couldn't go deep-sea fishing again because his body couldn't hold out. Let's see. The treatment also relieves Kachina's symptoms.
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days.
Fair enough. That
I
seems
have
safe.
to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
Teehee.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, That ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
See you later. Thanks for the checkup, Doc.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom.
Yeah, that was kind of...
I'll get straight to the
That was
point.
kind of...
Natlan is on the
bad.
verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Oh, well, it is good that the Traveler arrived when he did. Yeah, if we were slightly later, this would have been disastrous.
Huh?
So, good that we're here.
No. That can't be true, can it?
Less than a year.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
So both sides kind of set plans into motion 500 years ago. That's funny. And now both sides are just sort of trying to outplan each other.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives.
Okay.
Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today.
Cool.
And still,
Alrighty.
this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
So, it's all coming down to fighting them back and defeating them once and for all.
I'd
The
never
great
have
battle
guessed.
predicted 500 years ago shall finally come to pass.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines.
Oh, and sorry, I'm going to take a sidebar from the actual stream here because I just want to say, dear viewer who is advertising your work, I'm sure that it's great. I am not saying that I'm not going to check it out as a judgment to you, but I'm just saying when it comes to stream assets for myself, I much prefer to make them on my own. I don't mean any offense when I say that I don't want to commission anybody for work. I'm not saying that out of some kind of arrogance or anything like that, because I know that my work is rough sometimes. This model here definitely has its flaws. It's very highly visible flaws. But I'm just saying that because I am trying to work on developing my style further. That's the best way that I can think to word that right now. So I'm not trying to offend by saying I don't want to... Oh, have I been getting these messages too consistently? No, this is the first time I've seen someone, like, actually advertise commissions in my chat. I normally get bots that say, like, hey, you want to buy viewers? And I'm just like, no, fuck no. I don't want to buy viewers. That's cheating. That's cheating. I'm not going to buy viewers. I'm not going to buy subscribers. That's cheating. And I think that's a cheap, kind of bullshit way to grow. I am striving to grow by my own work, by putting in work to make my content viewable and to make my content something that people like to view. And that's kind of another reason why my plan is to stick to my guns and like try to like work on my own stuff. Yeah, like, it's like, props to them for being bold enough to go into someone's chat and advertise their commissions. I admire the boldness. I admire the dedication that it takes to do that. But also at the same time, it's kind of a dick move to try to advertise in someone else's chat. Like, I wouldn't go into, like, a popular VTuber's chat and advertise myself. I wouldn't say, hey, guys, come watch my streams, or hey, guys, come look at my art. I'd try to be as supportive as I can of the person whose chat I'm in. Or if there's, like, an in-joke, play along with the joke. Because I know that some content creators sort of have, like, a quote-unquote bit where it's, like, they're sort of at odds and in this almost, like, sitcom-style comedy rivalry with their own chat, which I think is funny. I think that's a really funny idea. But, yeah, like, I'm trying to stream a game and talk and just be funny and have a good time. That's what I'm trying to do. Sorry, taking a sip of water. I'm trying to have some fun. I don't want to worry about like, well, stuff that's not related to that. And so when I say, like, I don't want to check out someone's commissions if they come advertise in chat, that's not me trying to be rude to them. That's me trying to say, this isn't the place for this right now. This isn't the time nor the place. And I prefer to make that stuff myself. Because I feel better about it when I can see a product that I've fully realized and go, I made it. It might have some flaws, but I made that right there. I put in the work to make that. It feels better to me somehow to have put in the extra work. You know? Does that make sense? Like, it would be very cool to have a professionally rigged VTuber model, like a professionally drawn and animated model. That would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. But I have to get to a level where I feel like that is something that I can put in the work elsewhere to back up having that. You know what I mean? Hi, hello, welcome to the chat. Someone earlier was advertising asset commissions in chat. They were advertising VFX commissions, and so I'm sort of having an interestingly serious conversation about that. But yeah, it's so when I say I don't I'm not interested in checking out the work, or I'm not interested in commissioning them, I genuinely don't mean that out of malice. I don't mean that to be, like, rude or dismissive or anything like that. I just want to make my own stuff. I just prefer to make stuff myself. I feel better about that. You know? And so that's where I'm going when I say that. Sorry, I feel like I've rephrased that several times, and I've kind of talked about this in a very roundabout kind of way. But, I just want to make that clear for the record. I just want to make it clear for the record. Because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm trying to be a dick. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm trying to be an asshole. Unless they have done something assholish to me to warrant a response like that. And even then, I feel like I would try to avoid that as best as I possibly can. So... yeah, that's my stance on that. I don't want to be, like, intentionally rude. And if I'm sort of, like, I don't know, I feel like my banter sometimes in the game, like the boss fight banter, that I try to do sometimes, like, I don't know, back in the Armored Core days with, like, Balteus or something like that, where I was flat out, like... vitriolic on stream, where I was like, fuck this thing, fuck this boss, I hate this motherfucker. Like, when I was like that, if I'm going to hit that level, I want to at least do it in a funny way. I want to at least be funny about it. So I don't want to be, like, just ragey on stream. Like, I don't want to be raging on stream unless it's funny. Unless it's funny for everybody involved. Yeah, you remember seeing that in the VOD. The Balteus fights were a low point in that Let's Play. The Armored Core Let's Plays are, they were something, because that boss fight was awful. I don't know why I'm bringing up Armored Core specifically, because, actually, no. That's the only thing that I can remember that I think has been one of the longest streams on my channel, and one of the most aggravating. And I played Elden Ring back in the day. I played Elden Ring. And even that was not nearly as frustrating as some of the boss fights in Armored Core. So yeah. Like, I don't want to be rude on stream unless it's to an enemy character in the game. And even then, the dialogue needs to be more like Spider-Man quipping rather than just, "Oh, Diaspida! How could I forget about Diaspida? How could I forget about that? That's the only boss so far that has ever made me quit a Let's Play." That's the only boss that's ever made me quit a Let's Play. Because I couldn't beat it. Because it was a mixture of just being bad at the game and the boss and the gameplay just not working in a way that was conducive to actually winning. Spent 4 episodes trying to beat the first one and then quit the second time it showed up because it showed up in a combo with another aggravating enemy. Yeah, so there's a reason that the God Eater 1 Let's Play never finished. Yeah. There's a reason the God Eater 1 Let's Play never got finished. That was the lowest point that I've been as a streamer. That was the lowest point. I don't think even during the hardest part of any other game, I have ever gone fully silent trying to fight a boss. I don't think I've ever gone dead quiet trying to win a boss fight, ever, before that. I might have done that during Elden Ring, like, briefly, but still been saying things like, "Aw, man, ooh, I need to dodge that," or something like that. Because I remember doing that for Margit, I think. Or was it Morgott? Yeah, that was concerning to witness for sure. I had to lock in. That wasn't like I was hitting like a stress breaking point. That was more like I needed to focus more than anything else. Because most of the time when I'm streaming, if I'm doing like witty banter or just saying things, that takes another part of my brain that I'm usually using for complete gameplay focus. So I'm never playing completely optimally. I mean, even when I'm like on my own, when I'm playing on my own, I don't think I'm ever playing completely optimally. Because, like, I'm listening to music or watching a YouTube video in the background sometimes. Like, Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail, for example. I'm working my way through the Penacony story. And so far, the boss that's given me the most trouble was the first appearance of Something Unto Death. I think the reason I say first appearance is because I don't know if it shows up again. But I know that the first appearance of Something Unto Death, took me several tries to beat, and I had to take my earbuds out, stop watching the Markiplier video that I was watching, stop listening to music, and think. And just sit there. No music, no background noise, nothing like that. Just thinking on how to fight that thing. And I did win eventually. I did win on like my 3rd or 4th try because I had the pattern down and knew how to win. My team for that fight consisted of Imaginary Trailblazer, Bailu, Sampo, and Firefly. That was my team for that fight, and it worked. It worked amazingly well. Because I had a relatively skill point positive team that actually like let me cook pretty well. Because I had all of the weakness breaks down. I had super break damage from Imaginary Trailblazer, so that I could deal extra damage when I broke the shield. Firefly to deal extra damage to shield-broken enemies, which stacks with the other thing that I had, which stacks with Trailblazer's super break. Sampo to help break the shield, and Bailu for sustain and healing. And that team setup worked on the second attempt that I tried it. Other failed team setups included Imaginary Trailblazer, Bailu, Firefly, and Pela. and then another where I swapped out Pela for Blade, and another where I swapped out Blade for Bronya. But then using Sampo finally worked. I think the reason is Blade is not a skill point positive character. He drains skill points, and he drains his own health as a resource. Which means he has to be revived at some point early on in the fight, which then, once you've already used your free revive from Bailu, you can't get that again. And if someone else dies who's more important and deals more damage than Blade goes down, well, sucks. But Sampo also just deals extra break damage and can re-trigger his Wind Shear. He can reactivate his own Wind Shear stacks, which is fantastic. Because having the extra damage to shields and health from the Wind Shear, yes please, that was really well. That worked really well. And then, yeah. I think at one point, yeah, and that's just sort of been my team setup ever since. For the time being. I swap out the fourth member usually, so it's just Imaginary Trailblazer, Bailu, Firefly, and then some rotating fourth member who might end up being Fei Xiao, because I got Fei Xiao the other day when I was rolling. So that's going to be fun to work with. But yeah, sorry. That's a very long tangent I've been on. It's been more than 10 minutes of just me talking about this stuff. Let's get back to actually playing the plot. Yeah. Oh yeah, to your point about fighting Osile, somehow Osile didn't give me that much trouble. I don't know how that happened, but Osile just didn't give me that much trouble. The other one, the Hydra, that appears during Shenhe's boss, introductory side quest, the Hydra dragon thing with like 3 heads that is also made of water, that's like Osile's like mate or something like that, gave me significantly more trouble than Osile did, actually. Which I think is interesting. I think that's interesting. Then I'm trying to think if I've had any more major trouble with boss fights in this. I don't think I really have. The thing that I've really had trouble with for a while was Spiral Abyss, which I haven't done consistently, but now I actually have multiple team setups that work for the Abyss. So when it's like, you need to split your focus between these 2 sections, I actually have enough characters highly leveled to do that now, which is cool. And then, have I done theater? I have not done theater yet. I have not done the Imaginarium theater. I'm not up to date on my endgame game modes. I've been working through story, mostly. But I might go unlock it at some point. If we run out of Natlan story quests, I'll go unlock it. How's that? I will go unlock it if I'm out of story quest to do.
Immediately
main
after
story
the
quest,
war,
I mean.
Our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss.
Okay, so yeah, everything has been set in place for 500 years. All right. Let's get back to the story real quick. Before I completely spend the entire stream yapping. Because I will do that. Trust me, I will. I will. I have done it before, where I spent 30 minutes of the stream yapping. But yeah, okay. We're here to
At that
progress
time,
the story.
We were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, oh, it was a Destiny stream a while back where I said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to work on the seasonal quests, I'm going to do the seasonal storyline, I'm going to do episode echoes, and all of that stuff. And then I spend the entire stream just working on fashion and boundary breaking. Instead of doing anything related to the actual episode echoes content. Oh yeah, don't get me started on Kamen Rider. If I have something to actually talk about with it, I will not stop talking. How many times has this happened? It happened during a Wuthering Waves episode, happened during a Destiny episode, happened during... you get the point. Actually, back in Persona 3, I spent like 20 minutes talking about Super Sentai. Back in a Persona 3 stream, on a Persona 3 PC stream, I at one point started yapping about Super Sentai for a solid 10 to 20 minutes. Instead of doing social links, I ran around in circles in like Iwatodai and just talked about Super Sentai, and it was hilarious. It was a good moment. It was a really good moment, but like I spent a long time doing it. So before I get lost, before I get down in the weeds again, I'm going to work on progressing the story a little bit more.
So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the
Yikes.
heroes of each
Sorry about
tribe,
that. Hello there.
and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
Me when I breathe directly onto the microphone. 500-year-long plan to save Natlan. The Olympics.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But
Most
there's
likely.
still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you. Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
Unless they use the power of the Gnosis.
That's
or
right.
they're a ghost.
The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time, or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan.
You mean to tell me that she's broken through the limit? She is perhaps a limit break survivor? Like that one Dragon Ball Super opening? My jokes about Mavuika being Super Saiyan just keep coming true. They keep being accurate. My Mavuika Super Saiyan jokes just keep being accurate. She's overcome her limits. She's just like Goku, guys.
A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse.
Oh, like with the Hydro Archon. I see.
But, as
So
we
if you
all know,
curse someone with
Natlan
immortality.
doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame.
Oh, that's interesting. So as long as the sacred flame is burning, Mavuika is alive. So she can stay alive as long as the fire burns.
Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
That was all part of the plan?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one.
Now I just have Limit Break Survivor stuck in my head. This is my own fault for making the joke.
If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance,
Those are not the
the
words.
Pyro
Those are
Archons
not
that
the right
came
words.
after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes.
可能性のドアはロックされたままやれやれ今度も壁をぶち破る未だ限界突破叫べへのへのカッパ無敵のオイラが I forgot the one. I forgot the one. I forgot the rest of the words of the chorus. Come on, I was so close to doing something funny. I was so close to getting it right and doing it cool, like doing something cool and doing an acapella, and I forgot. Oh yeah, when Venti took his human friend's appearance. True, that is very true. Rebuild the decimated tribes, right? That's enough of a Dragon Ball reference for the time being.
The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
Oh, I see now. So now we just have to go around finding the other chosen.
That's
Or
right.
Iansan
You
already
bear
said
the
that she was one of the
ancient
chosen.
name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
Okay. So Kachina is going to be her tribe's. I imagine Chaska is going to be hers, and Iansan is hers. So is Kinich his tribe's designated hero?
So in other words, you always knew who the Wyatt were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them.
What is this Anos Voldegode-ass plan that Mavuika had? What? What is this Anos Voldegode plan here? Where it's like, my plan banked on me dying and then coming back to life 500 years later, but along the way something went wrong and the plan got forgotten because something bad happened. What?
Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wyab has been blocked.
Okay. So we do need to go find the other heroes.
Just
then.
like
Is
how
that
the
current
Ode of
plot?
Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter.
Okay.
If we want to unblock that
clever.
information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name bearer must establish a greater connection to their name.
So, Mualani, Umoja, connection or unity got hers by, essentially exemplifying the power of friendship in order to defeat a greater foe. So, how would the others get theirs then? I mean, it depends on who they are. Let's see. Kachina's is Uthabiti, right? Perseverance? Or dedication or something? It's something perseverance, which means it's going to be like the indomitable human spirit more than anything else.
So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines.
I think. I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing. I tend to theorize. In terms of One Piece, I ate the theory fruit.
Currently,
yeah.
Xilonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names.
Xilonen's the designated hero. So that's how she's relevant to the story. I've been seeing her on Instagram and like Twitter and stuff a lot. I've been seeing the gameplay. I don't know. Are they official things or are they leaks? I'm not sure, but regardless, I've been seeing them floating around on the internet. So I was like, when's she going to become story relevant? This is how she becomes story relevant. Right. Kinich, Iansan, Xilonen.
During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyab Mualani.
Mualani.
In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
So that leaves 2 people left.
Well, we have less than a year.
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
Right. Xilonen does become playable soon. That's cool.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
But that defeats the purpose of establishing a deeper connection to the meaning of your ancient name. Haha. See, I'm on the same page as the Archon now.
Perhaps,
I'm on the same page
but
as
the
the
opposite
Archon.
could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you know about the prophecy can't come true anymore because you'll act in a way different than you normally would, or something like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but I think that makes sense. I think that kind of makes sense.
Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
Fair enough.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then.
Maybe Chaska? Maybe?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development.
So Chaska's from the Flower Feather clan, which means her clan's hero hasn't been selected yet. So, yeah, her clan's hero hasn't been selected, so it's not out of the question that Chaska could be one of them. Could be one of the chosen ones. And then we just need to find the other ones. The Night Wardens? No, that's the name of the war. What's the sixth one? I can't remember. They're the ones that, like, build the artifacts and stuff. Sup, how's it going? Doing pretty well. I'm doing all right.
I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab.
We're slowly meandering I'm slowly meandering my way through the story and getting sidetracked a lot.
I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all.
Does that mean you...
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Right, so she's sacrificing herself to keep the flame going, as I think we know.
Huh?
By the way, who made
right.
my model?
All
I
the
did.
stuff you stored here before. Where did it all go?
I made my model. I made my own model. Thank you for saying it looks good. Thank you. This one's about a year old, so I think I will be updating it at some point. But that mostly means when I have time to update it, I will get around to updating it. But for now, we've got this one. If you want like a proper model tour, go watch my debut from last August. That should be on the live tab, I think, of my YouTube channel. I think that should be on the live tab of the VODs channel. But I do a full model tour there. I'm not going to sidetrack myself further to do the model tour, but this is what I got so far. These are the important bits, because this is what I have on stream most of the time. But yeah. Hi, welcome to the stream. Thank you. Did you know there's only one pyro in Natlan? I don't think I did, actually. I don't think I knew that. Have I considered custom panels? I don't know. I haven't really put much thought into it. I've just been, like, chilling, mostly. I try to make all my own assets, for the most part. I just try to make all of my own stream assets, which is why I don't really have that many, and why I don't have that many thumbnails on my videos, because I sort of struggle for prioritizing the time to do that. I need to. I know it's a best practices thing. I need to go back and do thumbnails. I'll work on it eventually. Now's not the time for me to learn. I'll get to it when I get to it. Stuff you stored here before, where'd it go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose: fuel.
Oh, okay.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan.
Oh, that's cool.
Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle.
Okay, so the emotional value attached to them essentially turned them into artifacts filled with contending fire.
On
That's
their
really
own,
cool. I like that a
each
lot.
item's power is
It's a nice
limited.
plot point.
But
Love it when they do
together,
something like
their
that.
combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation.
Okay, so if you assemble the artifacts, you can use them as like a backup, like mana reserve almost.
By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds.
Okay, so that's how she split a hole
It
in
was a rather
dimensions.
crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they
Still,
all
it
precious
helped.
treasures? What about their stories? That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the abyss.
Oh, okay. So by taking the detour, we kinda made everything much better. We sort of saved the day accidentally.
And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster.
Oh, shit.
Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival.
So we just have to start restocking all the items to save for the future.
If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all.
Oh, okay. So the memories, the
If
sentimental
you still
value
have
of
regrets,
them in the mind.
let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could
Yeah.
all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot about those guys. Those two assholes.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
I mean, we did win against the Abyss.
Try
so,
not
like,
to let it get to you.
we have to celebrate our
It's
victories.
important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
Sounds good. Off we go. That was strange. What was that scene about? What was that? Oh, flashback. Or is she connecting to the Night Kingdom? Or something. Where are we? Where's this place?
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
It's sort of, I guess, bittersweet scene, because she's thinking about the victory, but what she had to sacrifice for it, too.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy. one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt.
Now that is a badass line where it's like, yeah, make sure you win, otherwise I'll come back from the dead to find a way to run it back.
For Natlan.
This is a cool scene. Kind of sweet in a way, if that makes sense.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
This is a sad scene.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
This is, poignant, I
The
guess?
rules are
I don't know
my
the right word.
legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
I guess kind of bittersweet, I guess.
We are the inheritors of memory and legend.
Bittersweet because it's Mavuika sort of going through all of the things she's lost in fighting for the future, I guess. That kind of makes sense.
Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
That is cool. Whenever someone, like, does some big speech about, like, this is what it means for us to fight as warriors of Natlan, or something like that, it always goes so hard. Like, it's always such a badass line. Like, without fail, it is a badass line. Alright, let's go to the inn.
Hey,
Have a victory feast.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
You can tell us anything.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
You deliberately provoked her so that she'd take that impulse out on you?
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least.
Okay,
Anyway,
that's an
I'm just glad
interesting
you were able to make it back safe and sound.
point.
That's all I wanted.
What? Do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No
mean-
way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her.
Thank you for confiding in us.
I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration.
For sure.
Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
I've got to get better at, like, improvising traveler lines, because most of the time they really are just as simple as doing, like, the standard RPG response. Night Kingdom, the Abyss, Demon King, Holy Sword, or something like that. Most of the time they really are that simple, but also at the same time, that's not very funny. So I need to get better at doing the funny lines.
There was a deeper reason behind their arguing.
They're trying to look out for each other in their own way.
In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of them.
This is all Decade's fault. Honore Decado! This is all the Abyss's fault. Don't know what the translation of the Abyss is in the Japanese version, but Honore Abyss. I mean, if it is just Abyss, then it straight up would be pronounced Abyss. Abyss.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
And there's Kinich just brooding in the background.
Glad I finally made it.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
Yeah, we're not here for arguing. This isn't the time for this.
But the fact of the matter is
This
that
isn't
after
the time
your
for this.
departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Not really.
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. we got disqualified.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
Alright. There's no need to be like that, Uncle Pakal. Dear friends, I'd like to say a few words. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back.
And there's Mavuika brooding in the background.
This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing.
Cue awkward head scratch.
They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Mualani, Chaska, Kinich, and Iansan. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back from the Night Kingdom.
Remind me again what Kinich did during that whole thing? He was there for some exposition. Yeah.
They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
I know. I know I'm being tough on him. I'm just trying to be funny. 28 minutes of nothing but cardio. 28 minutes straight cardio. No scores, no assists. 0 points, 0 assists. 28 minutes. 28 minutes game time. And he gave his claymore to Mavuika, and she broke it. To be fair, they wouldn't have fought off Capitano without a weapon, so he did do that. He did contribute to the defense of the Gnosis. To be fair to him, he did do that. And he was also busy delivering a message to Sitlali, I think. Who is it, Sitlali? Sitlali, right? The one from the tribe that we just sort of haven't talked about at all and haven't seen any members from or anything like that, or all of them, you know? No reps from whoever they are. But yeah, no, I know he's one of Kachina's friends.
Well said!
Yeah.
I'll drink to that. How does it feel being a hero, Kachina? To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. It all just feels so surreal.
That's fair.
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
That way I'll also become a champion coach.
Hey, please don't make fun of me.
Hi, Kinich. What are you doing here? Brooding?
My apologies. I knew more than I let on.
It's fair. I understand the thing of like... Who is clapping? I heard someone clapping over there. Who is clapping? It was Pakal, I think. But yeah, it's that thing of like, you don't tell someone their destiny because then they'll try to avert it somehow. Or they'll try too hard to make it come true, and since they aren't acting naturally, then the plan will fall apart. Because the plan requires them to act like they normally do. That's always such an interesting point with, like, plans and prophecies and stuff, where it's like, you can't tell them the plan, because if they know the plan, they'll accidentally fuck it up. It's like Seth in Zenless. It's like Seth in Zenless Zone Zero. Like, where it's like, if Jane told him the plan, he would have messed it up. Instead, she just needed him to act naturally, so she had to keep him out of the loop so he would act like he always does. In his normal, self-sacrificing, heroic, sort of dumbass way.
Everything comes at a price, and most heroes aren't people who set out to become a hero.
That's fair.
If you cling too tightly to your goal, you end up losing things that are far more precious. But in any case, we're now on the same page.
Fair enough.
I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear. From the
Masters
Flower
of the
Feather
Nightwind,
Clan
that's what they were
and the
called.
Masters of the Nightwind.
Masters of the Nightwind. That's the name of the tribe. I'm sorry, but are we not just, like, saying that the Flower Feathers rep is going to be Chaska? That just seems like the obvious answer, is that it's Chaska.
At previous victory feasts, you'd always find me in the crowd singing and dancing. After what I found out today, it's too much.
It does feel weird seeing you so out of sorts.
Natlan's fall isn't set in stone, though, right?
Is this another pearl of wisdom based on your
I should have
adventuring
read both of them.
experience?
Because something that I've realized is technically, the Traveler says both dialogue options. They don't matter. He says both of them. Because of this, since the other thing was him offering some sort of, like, wise advice, this dialogue means he said both of the things.
Well, Paimon agrees with the Traveler. Everyone's come together to celebrate Kachina's achievements. That's gotta be a first.
Yeah.
You're right. Kachina looks really happy. And now I'm being the moody one. Enough doom and gloom. Time to shake it off.
Let's see. Who else is there to talk with? Iansan, hello there.
It cost us a lot, but we got Kachina back safely, and that's what matters.
We did what needed to be done. And we did, by going in there, we also sort of saved the day by saving the totem pole.
There'll be even tougher challenges coming our way in the days ahead, though. We'll have to train harder, make sure we're in peak condition.
Yeah.
That includes you, Paimon. I can do a special one-off session to show you the ropes. Interested?
No thanks.
This just in, Paimon does not go to the gym.
It's rare to meet
Chaska.
travelers as strong and brave as yourselves. I raise my glass to you.
Thank you.
Anyway, my sister's already gone back to our tribe. She has patients to treat.
Oh, we actually ran into her on the way here and,
Hi, hello there. Welcome to the stream.
Paimon just thinks she really cares about you.
Hi, doing well. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm planning on visiting home myself in a few days. To tell her and the rest of the family that they need to be extra careful. I just hope they take it seriously.
Yeah. But yeah, more specifically, I'm sort of slow walking my way through the Genshin story quests, through the 5.0 story quests, trying to catch up. Well, not catch up, stay caught up. So that I'm not like behind for later on updates. And honestly, as appealing as that sounds, being able to just like play through the entire story in just one go, like I did with Fontaine and Sumeru, and all of the others for that matter, now that I think about it, but still, you get my point. As appealing as that sounds, I'm trying to play it as it comes out, so that I'm constantly caught up and not accidentally getting spoiled. Like what happened with Penacony, because I didn't play Star Rail when Penacony first came out, and thus several story beats are spoiled for me. Now I'm finally playing through it in preparation for Amphoros, I think, to come out, which I might do on stream or I might not. I don't know. We'll see.
The Abyss has likely sensed your arrival in Natlan by now. So exercise caution on your adventures as well.
Right. Because the Abyss... It would make sense that the Abyss is technically afraid of the Traveler. I think that would be a really funny story beat if an entire dimension was just afraid of the Traveler. I feel like that would be funny. Let's not talk to Mavuika because we can get special dialogue out of everybody. Kachina!
I've been through so much all at once. Everything still kind of feels like a dream.
That's fair. Yo! He was hitting that shit back there! Did you guys see that? Sorry to get distracted, but he was hitting that shit back there. That crazy backspin that he was doing there, that was crazy. Sorry to get distracted, but that was just an insane background event to see all of a sudden. He was hitting that shit for a second. Right, everything still feels kind of like a dream.
Are you still feeling unwell?
Nope, all better now. I told you I bounced back pretty quick, so don't worry.
Let me rotate my camera so I'm not getting distracted by people doing fucking backflips in the back. What the hell? The dance emotes here go crazy. Sorry, let me rotate my camera so that I'm not getting distracted because I will get distracted by that again. Bounce back pretty quick. Yeah.
I bet you guys must be tired, though. Make sure you get some good rest tonight. You gotta recharge so you'll be in the mood to have fun.
Nah, we're good. We're all right. We're chilling. I get the distinct impression that this is probably the last point of the currently released story quests, I'm guessing? Unless they added more with Kinich's banner starting. Unless they made more available at that point. But we'll see. Right. Mualani, new dialogue? Any new dialogue?
All right, Kachina, let's party.
Yeah. All right, she seems back to her usual self.
I'm a little embarrassed.
Hmm?
Don't be. Come on, you're the star of the show today.
Sorry, these emotes are insane. Fucking awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool. Hang on a sec. Yeah, this guy's... He's about to do the thing that distracted me the first time. Alright, that wasn't the thing that distracted me the first time, but that was still funny. Aw, they're sleepy. They're eepy. They're very eepy. This guy's just chilling. Anybody else to get unique dialogue from? Pakal? No. Sorry, let me step out of this. And does this just give me the same dialogue?
All right, Kachina.
Yeah, it does. Okay,
Don't
so it
be.
probably just gives me the same dialogue every time. Hang on a minute.
I've been through so.
Are you still
Okay,
feeling
no, it does just give me the same dialogue.
You got
Sometimes if you talk or inspect something again, it gives you new dialogue all of a sudden. Like, hey, hang on a minute. Let me see if Kinich does it.
My apologies.
No,
Everything
it's the
comes up if you
same.
cling
It's
too
just the
tight, but
same.
in any case,
Never
I wonder
mind.
how long before...
The final two heroes.
Plate bear.
Did not mean to do that. Pressed the wrong button. I wonder how long before the final two heroes show up. I can sort of do Kinich's voice. Kind of. I mean, I
You're
just
here.
sort of default
Have some
to
fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
deep-ish. All right, fruit juice.
Oh, that's Paimon's favorite.
I feel like anything is Paimon's favorite.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away.
Why didn't you get the heroes of the past to join you in this age?
Because they had their own lives to live.
True, but like, and you didn't?
The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel.
So she took the burden on herself.
You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real.
That's fair.
Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
I couldn't
That's a
make
good
them
point.
shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them.
You know what? That's a good point. There will always be heroes in any given age.
Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist.
Okay, that's cool.
She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, none of her buildings are around anymore. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
That's actually what I wanted to ask. If you're already aware of Fate.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
Oh, right, because of her complex views on how time works.
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now.
That's a very good point.
And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle.
There is always hope.
This is a pivotal
There's always
moment.
hope.
We are still 2 heroes short.
Yeah, that is true.
3, to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes.
Surely you don't mean me.
Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle.
True. Like, if nothing else, the ability to purify its power would make me a really good support.
If you agree to join
Really good
us,
support
you will
unit.
not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Oh, shit. That's a cool concept.
Ancient names can
That's
be
neat.
forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0.
Okay.
Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come.
So, Traveler's ancient name would just mean Traveler, probably?
The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall.
Fair enough.
Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
You don't have to promise me anything. I just want to help out the people.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation
That was
here.
not the Traveler's voice.
Wonderful.
It was a bit too deep.
Then I'll reach out to Xilonen right away.
Oh.
She's the one who will forge the name.
Oh. Okay.
We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
How many rules are we going to sort of bend via technicality?
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Capitano standing ominously with his back to everybody.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now.
Well, he's honorable at least. That's pretty cool. Capitano's honorable. Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I can do that voice. I can do that one. I can get the bass in my voice like this. I can do something like it. I've never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now.
As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
This guy's voice is so fun to imitate. Christopher Lefaro is a really great voice actor. He's just a really cool voice actor.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to.
Oh, who's this? Is this Pantalone, I'm going to guess? Is this Pantalone?
You don't have much time. And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
Because it's not Dottor. And it's not any of the other ones that we know, because it would have said that. And I recognize Arlecchino's voice. And Child's, too, to an extent. So it has to be someone that we haven't heard before.
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be.
Or is it just that one random lieutenant that he's deciding not to face right now?
You heard something from here, didn't you?
Hmm? Okay, well that's ominous. That's ominous. Ooh, Cornerstone of Stars and Flames. What does that do? What is that? Hang on a second. What? Oh, right, the graffiti camera. Shit, I forgot to do that event. Damn. Where is it and what did I have? What am I missing? Items. 3. Simulanka. LG for the end. What was that thing that I just got? I just got a thing. What was it? This. Character level up material? Okay, then. Alright. Cornerstone of Stars and Flames. Cool. Let's see. Mavuika. Okay, so that was, in fact, the end of the story that's currently
something
released.
else you'd like to ask?
Let's continue here. About the captain's whereabouts.
Well, our intel suggests he hasn't made any new movements yet. Although Kinich's investigation helped us confirm that he's being aided by someone from the Masters of the Nightwind.
Oh, that's probably who that voice was then. That's who that second voice was. I see.
I'm getting closer to narrowing down who that may be, but it's still unclear whether this person aided the captain out of willingness or coercion. If you learn anything about this during your adventures, please let me know.
Sure thing.
Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
About elemental energy in the Abyss.
The Abyss
I have
is
to
the
work on
most
my traveler
formidable
voice.
enemy in all of Teyvat. In the beginning, it took failure and tragedy to even begin to learn how to fight back. All of the methods you've seen in other nations were developed based on experience and insight passed down over generations. We know them to work, but few of us actually understand why.
Okay.
It's the same for the method we use here in Natlan. Ever since ancient times, elemental energy has been one of our most reliable weapons against the Abyss.
I'm assuming something elemental energy is granted to people via Celestia's power. And since Gnosis are made from parts of one of the Descenders, and they're used to channel elemental power through them because the Gnosis that empower the Archons are also sort of what powers the Visions. Based on my understanding of it, the Visions are fractions of the power of the Archon, which comes from the Gnosis. So, since the power of the Gnosis comes from Celestia and the Descenders, and the power of Visions, and thus elemental energy, comes from the Gnosis, or Vision comes from Gnosis, elemental energy comes from Vision, that means technically elemental power is just straight from Celestia mixed with a little bit of the Descenders' theoretical immunity to it. Theoretical immunity to abyssal power, which I guess is how it works so well. Because Traveler just straight up is a Descender and has pretty much complete immunity to the Abyss's powers, which I think is interesting. So, yeah, something things not from Teyvat seem to be immune to the power of things from Teyvat.
As for the principles behind it, I'm afraid you might have to seek answers from someone older than the position of Pyro Archon itself.
All right, time to find the mysterious god and ask them why all of this works.
Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
About the absence of people from Natlan and other nations. I think it's... My guess for this is I think it is sort of an all-hands-on-deck situation where they need everybody here to fight.
That also comes down to the long-standing effects of the Abyss. Our people's survival is inextricably tied to the Wyab. But their power has its limits. They cannot offer our people the same degree of protection outside our borders. In fact, people who do decide to leave often suffer from memory loss and emotional issues.
Okay, so the presence of the Abyss has sort of irradiated everybody, and if they leave the thing that gives them protection from radiation, the radiation starts taking effect, I'm assuming?
Everyone in Natlan understands this. That's why our people never leave without a good cause. Even if someone is left with no choice, the chief of their tribe must seek approval with the Wyab to grant them leave. And the Wyab have always been very strict about granting that approval, since extending protection beyond our borders means consuming power reserved for our fight against the Abyss.
Okay, I see.
Still,
That's
there's
cool.
no need to worry. The Wyab extend their protection to all within Natlan, including visitors from afar. Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
Why is he calling her my lady? Why is the Traveler calling her my lady? I've got no other questions, milady. Why is he talking like that? Why is Ether talking like that? As the memes on the internet say, bro's doing anything except finding his sister. Bro's doing anything but finding his sister. Let's just get primogems and all of that stuff. And then... Alright. Hour 35. I think that's a good amount of time. We've done all of the story quests that are currently available. So, I think that means the next one... The next major update is coming in... how many days? 14 days. So 2 weeks until the next update, I'm assuming. Because when the next banner comes on, Xilonen's banner, they usually load 2 banners at a time, I think. In the past, that's what they've done. They load 2 banners and then switch without having to patch the game. And then, for the next patch, that's when they drop the next 2 banners, which means that's when Xilonen's banner is going to be. So, that means we've got about 14 days until the next main story update. So, yeah. We did some pretty good work. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm going to be ending the stream here for today. Like and follow on Twitch. And if you made it this far, or missed anything, and want to go rewatch that, watch the VOD on YouTube, NinesVox channel. Yeah. Like and subscribe if you're a VOD watcher that's made it this far. Yeah. Like and subscribe, all that shit. Usually every YouTuber says some variant of this at the end of things, but yeah, like and subscribe. It helps the channel do the thing. And I'll see you guys next time. Yeah. I hope you guys had a good one, because I have been really enjoying this so far. This is really, really cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Adios. Peace. See ya. Later. Have a good one.